with Yana Concierge. Okay, give me 5 minutes on the shot clock. I will let Laurent take it away. Let's move it in here a little bit, head to head. Yeah, no, right here. Yeah. Perfect. All right.
Okay, ready? So it has to be sharp on no BS. Oh, actually, I could say bullshit because we are in Europe. And anyway, with a French accent, I've been told it's French. So the technology landscape is moving at an increasing pace, but in hospitality, you have slow mover, you have legacy systems that could be 30, 50 years old. So you have a huge gap in technology, huge gap between large hotel and independent hotels. So how are you able to close those gaps, and are you able to move from pilot to actually closing a contract onto a global rollout? So it's Thibaut, got the mic first?
Yeah, Thibaut will go first.
Yeah, so I think, so we mainly work with independents and small chains. What we've realized is in the early days of your product, you need to really focus on solving the pain points of your client, and therefore what we've done is we've identified one client that really is in need and is already quite aligned with what we've built, and so going from the pilot to actually signing a customer, what we've done is decided to build exactly what they were looking for and expect it to be applicable to other similar clients, and that's what we've done. Basically, making sure that everything they need is here to get it started, get a first contract, and then go for the next one.
Adrian, anything different? Anything to add?
Yeah, something to add. I've been working in hospitality, luxury hospitality for about 10 years, and mainly as concierge. So I have like a bright idea of what's the pain point in this industry. But still, we've been discussing with the concierges for the whole time we've been doing the R&D process. So every single time we have had an interrogation about the features that we would need to create. We just went into the field, talked to the users, and then get a feedback from them.
And from the pilot to close?
From the pilot to close, pretty much same. We are in stage at this point, so we are only talking with independents, and we give them the feeling that we are unique, and we just go through things with them. So it's a step-by-step process, and that's how we close the deals.
Okay, very different question, and you will go first, Adrian. So how are you gathering information in order to differentiate your products? And also, are you more focusing on disrupting existing player, or complementing existing player, or creating a new subset of the market?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably a bit of a mix. One of our concurrents is here actually today. From my experience in this field, 10 years in the industry, the perfect tool did not exist. It was actually a lot of great tools, maybe a couple of features here, a couple there, but nothing that could actually implement the whole package, and also something that could talk to every single one of the applications I would need in my daily routine. So that was our goals, get everything together in one application, and if we can't get it together, at least connect to the other one that could provide something else.
Okay, so same question to complement. If you can answer a little bit more precise the question regarding usage of data, you get it.
Yeah, so we're part of an emerging ecosystem of connecting vendors and hotels, and what we see is we need to answer to that specific. We need to choose the problem we want to solve. There's the connectivity part that's trying to be solved by different players like Happy Cloud and others, and we decided to go for the educational part and giving the information that hoteliers need. So to answer the question, we're trying to not disrupt, but we're actually trying to create a new demand where hoteliers go out there, don't necessarily go to consultants always, because there are the information is a bit less opaque now. So yeah, we're trying to create a new demand.
Okay, so very quickly on the last question. So Europe, actually all the regions are very diverse, Europe being one. So are you able to, how do you see you keeping your corporate culture while serving multiple countries?
Yeah, I think for us, we all three co-founders studied in hospitality in Switzerland. We were lucky enough that our school brought together more than 80 nationalities, and therefore we're already 3 nationalities today in the founding team, 4 more in our first hire. So for us, it might be a bit too oversimplified, but it's not necessarily a challenge for us to grow geographically and culturally.
We have a few seconds for that.
Very quickly, it's 4 founders and actually 3 different nationalities. We 2 French, 1 American, and the other one has been doing all his education in Switzerland. So it's already a right mix, and I guess that hospitality isn't about one nation, it's about getting the mix together. So that's what we're trying to do, and that's how we can reach every single client we try to reach.
Thank you very much.
Right.
That's it.
The final shake hands. Let's take it over to the judges. We kick it off, Lord.
All right, let's begin this. First of all, to both of you, thank you so much for putting this industry to pitch your innovation. We have a huge lack of innovation, so any innovation is welcome. So you've brought one already with that. Both of you didn't answer the questions at all that Laurent asked, and I think that's a great skill to have because that will get you very far in this industry. You just tell people what you need to know, so that's very good. Thibaut, I liked what you said about educating the hoteliers because that will be a big part of your challenge to educate the industry of what they need because they necessarily don't always do. What I didn't like is what you said, that you were solving pain points, because everybody's been solving pain points for too long. That's not innovation, that is just smoothing out the crap that we already have, so you need to come with something new. I don't know what your product is at all, but I didn't like that much. Adrian, what I liked from you is that you seem to be very close to the business and you run your innovations by real people that serve real guests, so that is really, really positive. For the rest, you said you'd like to get everything into one system or integrate, and that worries me a little bit as well, because many of those people here tried that, and I don't think anyone really succeeded. And to be a small startup, to take on that huge job to get everything into one system, whatever your system is, I don't know, might be a bit hard. Do I need a big one?
Yes, you do.
Okay, yeah, very, very difficult. I think I really like you both, so, but I will go for Thibaut.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, thank you guys for being up here. Very brave in front of this audience to talk about your new projects and try to get everybody to buy in. I won't be as harsh as Flor and say that neither of you answered any of the questions at all, but I did feel that Adrian kind of avoided the question a little bit, and not just the first one, but also the second one. So I know on stage it can be a little bit intimidating to remember to focus on what's being asked because you have things pre-programmed that you want to get across. But it's also important, especially when you're talking to your customers, to listen to what they're saying and not just think about what you want to say, the message you want to get across. And maybe this goes to the point you mentioned about talking about pain points, which Flor didn't like. I do appreciate that because it means you're interested in knowing the problem I as a customer want to solve. So that's a good message in the first place. Both of you, I think, handled the multinationality culture in Europe thing very well. It's probably a bit easier as you're both from here. You've already established multinationals as founders, so you understand the differences in culture and how to make sure those are embraced and recognized. So that, well handled there. And then, so Adrian, you also said something which was interesting about not necessarily being a disruptor, which can be good because I see it as kind of a trap. Don't always say you have to be a disruptor to the industry. You don't have to be a disruptor to succeed. You can do something really well that exists already and just do it better than the guy next to you. So, in the end, so now I picked two, right? Okay. In the end, I picked Adrian. So,
All right. 1-1.
1-1.
Yvette.
Comes down to Yvette.
All right. I thought you both did a pretty good job. I mean, there's a lot of pressure. Is this one? This one better?
Yeah.
Both did a good job. It's a lot of pressure. It was very difficult. I too am not 100% sure what the product is, other than the title of your product name, but really going after the attributes that you were speaking about, trying to answer the questions. Thibault, you talked about going after pain points and finding a customer that was similar to what you're trying to solve for. And Adrian talked about, almost described an agile process of more of an iterative process on user requirements. I find for us that's a more powerful way to do it. In the hospitality industry, you've heard it from other speakers, you can very easily get in the rut of every single property is going to be different. So really understanding multiple companies' perspectives and trying to figure out a way to make your product flexible, I think is very important. Thibault, you talked about creating a new demand. I really like that. And educating the users. I think companies like Uber did that. We didn't have a demand for taxis. We had taxis, and they created a new demand for how that service was going to be delivered. I think that's a kind of a good way of going about it, although you probably have a longer, harder road to educate people and to make that leap. And I thought both of you talked about integrating to systems and your solution didn't solve it. I think you're going to have to do that, or you're going to be dead in the water. Both of you, I actually, I don't know, maybe being the American, I didn't like how you maintain your culture. I don't know that it's enough just hiring people of different cultures. I think that's a really great first step, but that doesn't mean that your company has retained its identity and its culture. And I wish we had a few more minutes to ask further about how you do that, because I'm very interested in that too. So very close, but going along with the agile, I would give it to Adrian.
All right. Adrian moves on. Shake hands, please. Give a round of applause. All right. Moving on. All right, our next two competitors. In the red corner, if you say his company name 3 times fast, you might end up with soap in your mouth. Nathan Simular Shipatsu. Fun fact, Crichton was a rich Athenian, friend and disciple of Socrates, supported him by his fortune, but could not persuade him to leave the prison, though he had procured the means of escape.